Oh, we've got Ishan here. I actually wanted to speak to you, Ishan, about the guardianship form and see how far you and Mati got on that and what the update is from your side.
Yeah, so we finished the form, but we were a bit lost on the testing aspect of it, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
Um, we like we were just very confused.
Okay. No, that's understandable. It's a very confusing thing that we've
Um,
got set up. I so you guys have watched the videos and you've done. I think you've done the first step of the scenarios. I can't remember. I can't recall.
we've just written out like every possible path that the interview might take.
Right. So you're looking for the next step.
Yeah.
Um, there are a couple of videos on the next step. I'm going to link them to you, and then maybe we can have a call sometime this week where I can just walk you through how to deal with that. We do have a new team member who's on testing who might also be able to help you out and pair up with you.
And maybe
Okay.
I could see those paths to kind of
Yeah,
take a
that'd be
look at
great.
what they're, that has, so just link that to me and or tag me.
Ishan, what I would suggest is for you to put that in the testing channel and to CC Michelle, just at her, so that she can have a look at those. And then I'll liaise with you in terms of getting the testing on in terms of the test case templates. Okay, good job. Over to Teaching Tuesday. How was you, Quentin?
So to be clear, at this point, what we're trying to do is to invite any questions that people have, any coding problems they ran into this week, to share, and we could try to work through those together. Caroline, you had identified one possibility, but if no one volunteers anything else.
First.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing was to do a GitHub. What's it called? You were gonna do something else. Was that what you were gonna do? I can't remember.
Or just to look at the differences between the files, either way.
I think it was what was the specific, Caroline? It was about the language.
Me?
Yeah.
Just me?
Yeah.
So my suggestion was, my problem is that I copied an older version of Mike and Tyler's interview. So I was working on the language. I'd like to push it to GitHub. But I know that there's some issues because when I'm running through it, I can't go anywhere after a certain question. So the question is, if I push to GitHub and it's not working, but I'm pushing for language edits, what can they do with that? You see what I mean? So I push to a branch, I do a PR, they get the PR, but they don't want to pull the whole thing in because some of the questions don't work, and obviously they've resolved it because we just watched them go through it.
Right.
So so how do people collaborate using GitHub, and then how do people, and how do you bring in changes that you want and not do changes that you don't want? Michelle suggested that actually you just have to copy and paste. So at least you can
There are different ways to do it, and copy and pasting is one way while looking at the differences, so you can see what the differences actually were.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you were saying for this, with the stage we are now with GitHub, that might be the best way to go.
Also, sometimes it's better at guessing than you expect. Like the algorithm for doing the merging is pretty smart. Unless you change the exact same line that had the same intent, it can tell like when a line moved down, but is the same. So if you adjusted language changes, but they made changes to the logic, like that would probably merge just fine.
Oh.
You should try making a pull request first and seeing if it works. And if it says conflict, and we can see what that looks like if it does happen through yours. And then if it says conflict, I can show either ways to handle it there, or copying and pasting. I can show you how to compare the two.
Do you guys want to do that? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, but I'm saying I've done some
Eric's
language edits. I only got to a certain point, So are you guys,
Do a thumbs up emoji if you are interested in.
if you know how to
something
do a
like that.
thumbs up emoji?
It's in your bottom bar where there's a smiley face. You can pick oh, nice.
I also just wanted to check, Eric, how, if you wanted to schedule time just to check in and see how you're finding it all, if you're being able to, we're on the same time zone, so it's a little easier for us to do that. Do you want to just message me offline just to remind me, and then we can set something up?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to do this?
All right.
All
Sure,
right.
let's do this. Do you want to share your screen, Caroline?
Do you want, yeah. Screen share. Of course, I'm sharing the wrong screen. Wait a second. Okay, do you see it? Do you see
You
my,
see your desk. Oh, there we go.
you see my
there we go.
playground in the packages? Okay.
Yep. So have you pushed to a new branch yet?
No, I'm just about to do that. That's what I think. So I go to package just for review for people, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So I was in playground. Here's my, and I've got some of the stuff I did is I put, let's see, some of them. Actually, I'll just do it like this. I added some comments. Okay, so for example, here, this is a question, what is a docket number? And then we were talking about images. So I just put a comment in top center of notice, just try to help people figure out where the docket number is. Quentin doesn't like it. Sometimes I just put, I just put comments right in the sub question, which isn't too cool either, but I haven't found a good way of indicating it. So here are some of my edits. So I go to folders, packages. And then I'm going to go down to GitHub.
You can make issues, for example. That's one way, by the way. I can show you other features of GitHub. We'll look at those.
Okay, new branch. And I'm going to say readability edits.
So you need dashes in between them?
For a branch?
Yep, and you can just call it readability edits, and your commit message can say draft 1.
Okay.
Or something like that. Usually yeah.
Okay.
All right, sure, yeah, that's good, that's good. We can talk about conventions sometimes of commit messages, but that's not a crucial feature, not a crucial part.
What happened now?
Go down to the very bottom, and we can see that please make sure you have the correct access rights. So has this interview been transferred, has its ownership been transferred to Suffolk Lit Lab?
I think I pulled it from.
What's the name of it? It's called
Motion to vacate default judgment.
So then Quentin or David have to give you permissions.
Let me do that now.
And you and possibly just do the whole team permissions, and then any of us can.
Can you do it at once, or do you have to do one by one?
So it does say that the team has read permissions, so we need to give, that's the default I think it assigns, so we'll give it write permissions. I'm not sure why at least unless it's the default, I'm not sure why that's what the permissions would be set to. Okay, I think it's good.
It's a good problem to run up against, because
Yeah.
you might see that problem with your interviews, so that's good.
So you should be able to try it again.
Okay. Oh, that's the wrong interview.
It's just saying like when I mentioned the current branch, I was a little worried.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks better.
And generally speaking, when you're collaborating with each other, you would push to separate branches so that you're not writing over someone else's code and things that And so that you run into merge conflicts when you make a pull request as opposed to when you push.
Just saw.
So you run into like problems
Oh,
when
I
you do
wonder
the
if,
process that we're about to do.
oh no, this is the consumer one. Sorry. Where is it? I just saw it.
You can search at the very top too.
Motion to vacate. This is yours, right? This is the one.
That didn't look like the one you clicked on before, but
Motion to vacate default. Oh wait, that's the consumer one. Wait a second. Where's the one we? COVID motion to remove default.
so I think the searching on the
What's
page
the name
was
of your repository, Tyler and Mike?
thought we just
Here,
found
motion to
it.
vacate default, right? Here we go. Readability edits. Okay, so I'm going to do a
Compare and pull request. Yep.
okay.
So right now at the top, you can see it says able to merge.
Readability.
We're not going to see what a conflict looks like, but
Yeah.
we can see what
What
a
we could do
merge
is,
might look like.
yeah, you could do the pull request, I guess, and then we could see.
We can at least see how to look at differences.
Yeah, there is a way to do a comparison without doing a pull request too, which
You
is
can
sometimes helpful.
do a draft, and you can also, if you just want to look at it, it shows you the differences at the bottom of that page we were
When you
on.
say if you, who's you?
You as in the person making the pull request. So
All right.
you, Caroline, could have looked at the bottom of the page and seen the differences for yourself,
Oh, I
but-
see.
but that's all right. I don't think that's
Or
what-
rather than even starting to do a pull request, you can just do a comparison.
So
Yeah,
even if you,
that-
so basically you
can-
just
can-
do a, if you do a branch, then anybody can compare one branch with another branch,
Correct.
right?
I haven't seen that feature of GitHub before. They've been doing a lot of new stuff, or
The
is
other
this
thing
not
is-
new?
in the panel on the right, with reviewers and assignees. So do you want to like request reviewers and then assign yourself?
Well, I want to
You
and
assign,
then
don't need
just-
to, you don't need to assign yourself, but you can request a reviewer for sure.
yes.
Okay.
It's like if Caroline made this pull request and then she had to go, work for the next month or vacation or whatever it is she needed to do, then people reviewing it might assign someone else, or she might assign someone else to deal with any issues that come up.
Okay. And then labels,
That's the assignment.
language. I think we've got some nice labels.
We don't have like, we don't have these for this project, I don't think. Aren't
Yeah,
those unique
think
to
there's
each
a way to-
repository?
I think there's a way to add them to the organization, but I don't believe we've done that.
Yeah, we could
have
consider
them.
that. So projects, just so people know, are like Trello boards. They're Kanban boards. So it's like what the role projects is playing the same role as what we're using Trello for. So we're not using any of those. And we haven't had a practice around labeling pull requests yet, but maybe we could develop one.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did it for
Or-
209A, right? We
We could
did
do it for
labels
some.
because that was so big, but maybe we don't need to.
And milestones for sure are good when you have a bunch of issues and you're not dealing with all of them.
Yeah, once you start having a bunch of issues, once you start having, which is where people list either changes that might need to be made or things that have to be dealt with or discussed. It's like a kind of a board in a forum. Like you can see all the different posts people make bringing up stuff, and we can show that to you in a bit. So
Do you guys
Go ahead.
want to add Tyler as a reviewer because Mike's having problems with his internet? And then he can compare and we can look at changes?
I think Tyler might have jumped off this call.
Oh,
Let me just check.
oh, okay.
I think that's a good idea, though.
Yeah, no, both Tyler and Mike, they're
Oh.
gone.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Well, we should look at the file comparison anyway and just see how that went. So you could see what some of your concerns were, Caroline, whether
we
GitHub
do
ended up being
files
able to handle it
change?
okay. Yeah, that's how you see the difference.
okay. So there's only one file. I mean, well, actually, it wouldn't show you the differences in the templates, would it?
It would.
All right,
I mean, it
later,
wouldn't
Vincent.
actually
See you
show it as a
tomorrow.
diff. in GitHub. No, that's probably what you mean. You wouldn't be able to see a line by line comparison, but you'd be able to see which files changed.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here we have. So this is always interesting to figure out which one is. So the one on the right is the branch, and the one on the left is master.
Correct. Yeah. So think of it as the
you
left
did
is the
change.
thing that is there now, and the right is your changes. So rather than the branch, think of it as all of the changes that you wanted to do in this pull request.
She's saying which branch is which. So see how at the top it says commit into master from readability edits, right there next to open. So it says draft 1 number 2 open. Carol Rob wants to merge whatever master from readability.
I'm not there yet. Oh, all the way up here. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, all the way up there. So the one that's on the left up there is oh right, annotations. Thanks, Quentin. Is the one that's on the left at the bottom, and the one that's on the right up there is the one that's on the right at the bottom. But you said you didn't edit any logic, so I am a bit confused.
I know, me too. Oh, I did. You know what? I did do this little piece.
You added a new screen.
I added something to, yeah, so I added something
to
Caroline.
All right.
Because
that's okay. That's okay. We'll look at that a bit later.
Right.
So let's look at GitHub for now.
Okay.
So another way to tell is the green is the things that you added. So that also helps you visually see which side.
Right. Yeah.
There are situations in which it can be confusing. And like now, if you didn't remember that you'd done those edits, it's, can give you a cue that it really was your edits, right? So I don't know. I found it useful at times. Mm-hmm. Maybe those of us with worse memories find that part more useful than others.
So, for example, when we were talking about these edits, so this was a heading in theirs, and I made it regular paragraph text, right?
Right.
Yep.
That's the readability edits.
So you can see all your changes, and here and the commit the pull request. Now, just to clarify, a pull request is when you request, for example, Caroline is requesting that Mike and Tyler pull her changes into their master branch. That's what that language is about. It's a bit confusing, and never mind, we don't have to go into why it's actually wrong, but that's what if that helps anybody remember it a bit better. So, yep, there were no conflicts, and you can go down and you can make sure that you changed what you wanted to change and that you didn't change what you didn't want to change. And Mike and Tyler can go through this and they can see, oh, there was a change to logic, so that's something we need to add to our tests. They're not here to say that, to tell that to you, but that's okay. And yeah.
So here's an example of what we were talking about before. They said sheriff/constable, and I said sheriff or a constable, right?
Yep.
And have you received versus did you get, right? So those are the little readability things.
And you changed a question to data type checkboxes.
Yeah, I think that's where I got it. That's about as far as I got, because I only got so far.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, because people could have more than one reason.
But that is something that's very important and I'm going to show you another little feature. If hover over data type checkboxes, the line where that is, you see the plus sign on the left?
Yeah.
Hit that. And you can write a comment that will show it, leave a comment there with like Mike and Tyler take a special note that this data type has changed, right? So that, especially test this out and change your tests. Mm-hmm. So write something to that effect. Go ahead.
So what am I, oh, you have to change your tests, right?
So whatever is relevant, right, at that point.
What did they, oh, I know, this was, what were these? I think this was a select box.
Yeah, it was a drop down. It was a drop down. And if you want, you can tell them the reason why, and you know why that's more usable, et cetera, or how you've found out
You'll have
that's
to,
more
when we say
usable.
update your tests or review your tests, what do you want to say?
Oh, because it was a select box before, I don't think they need to update well, they might need to update the description in their tests, but they, you know, just to take note of that possibly. It'll be an example anyway. The logic up top needs more of that comment, and we can go back and do that, or you can.
Okay, so I don't
Now-
start a review, I add the single comment, right?
Yep. Don't review your own code.
Right.
And if we go back to conversations instead of files, which is at the top, and I'm sorry about that. If I'd done it up higher, it would be easier.
Conversation.
But, yep, go back to conversations instead of files
When you
changed.
say go back to.
Oh,
Oh,
Quincy,
over here.
you're so
Gotcha.
good at
Thanks,
that.
Quentin.
Thank you. I need to get my annotation bar out. There we go.
Okay.
So look down, reviewed 21 seconds ago. You have that right there.
That comment, yeah.
That comment and that text and the line is shown, right? Which
Right.
is really useful.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Um,
that's really helpful, isn't it?
You can also select a bunch of lines at the same time.
Okay.
So I think you have to drag down. I don't think you can drag up, or I don't know.
So should we go back to files?
Sure, let's look at that. And so, you know, you might add that comment
So for
later
example,
to the
something
top.
like this, will you
Yep,
do
so click
like
and drag.
that?
Nope, you have to click the plus sign and drag.
Okay.
You have to hold it and drag, right? So you can hit cancel for a sec. Hit cancel. And now
Uh-oh.
go
Here
up
it is.
there. Hold the
whoops,
plus
here.
sign and drag down.
Ah,
There we
gotcha.
go.
Oh, cool. All right.
And did you add a screen?
No.
Okay.
Oh. I might have. Not sure.
Okay.
It'll be in there if I did.
Okay. So then hit save and
I'm
comment.
just looking to see if I added a screen. I don't.
You added something. There's a new ID and a question.
You see a new ID?
Yep, right there. Hang on. And I will annotate it if you, right there.
All right. Okay, good. Can I copy this even though I'm still in the comment?
You might be able to. Go ahead and try.
All right, let's see. Where did you defaulted after agreement, right?
Generally speaking, GitHub
Okay,
is
gave
good
user
about
choice
that kind
to
of
pick
thing.
them out at the very beginning and added screen. No, where is it? Line 74, right?
Yeah.
Cool. This is great. This is really
Great.
okay.
So then, you know, you finish going through that. And I mean, you've already made the pull request. So if there are
Right.
other comments you want to add, you add them or not.
Mhm.
And then it's Mike and Tyler's move to then pull that branch into their repository. So they go pull and they put their they make a new project. They say they pull from this
On their
repository.
on their
they can pick their
a new
branch.
project in their playground.
Yep. So if you
Right.
want, we can do that with you now so people can see what that looks like.
Okay. Except we haven't. Sorry. What are we doing now?
We pretend to be Mike and Tyler. but
Right.
we-
Exactly.
I want to ask if anyone has questions currently on what we've done
Yeah.
so far. So if someone has question, then just either speak it out or raise your hand in here or write in the checkbox in the chat box or whatever it is you want to do.
Our attendance is down a bit. That's fine. Oh, sorry.
It is.
Yes, Eric.
Yeah, so Sam and Mark and I have been copying and pasting code around and sharing it that way.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we have a document draft in GitHub to use in the first place. How do I verify? How do I
So
get
you
that?
don't have so you think you don't have a repository yet?
Yeah, I don't think we haven't been working from that.
That's pretty
GitHub.
common. That's pretty common, and I think a
Yeah.
lot of people. That's how a lot of people have been doing it.
Yeah, you might have had one at some point because we.
No, I don't
we
think so.
kind
They
of-
only joined the project later.
Oh, okay, so there's a video that Maeve can link you to, right, Maeve? That
Yes,
first GitHub
Yeah.
video?
Oh
Or
yeah, I'm
maybe it's the second
halfway
one.
through that one.
Sorry,
So-
Eric, you were saying you have been through that one?
I've been like halfway through it right now.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there are a couple GitHub videos, and they show you how to hook up your repository to GitHub, how to transfer ownership, and all that stuff. And then you have to ask Dave and Quentin to
Gotcha.
give permissions to other people, and then you can. But even if you haven't given permissions, people can still pull it. You just can't push without permissions. Sorry, annotations.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So
So-
go ahead and make the new project, Caroline. Are there other questions? You have
What is
for-
that title, Caroline?
What? What's what?
Pretending to be
Pretending
Mike.
to be Mike. Oh, that's a great name. That's exactly what we're doing. I love it.
Oh, that project name. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Okay,
so
go ahead.
create this. Okay, so, oh, yeah, packages. Cool. And then we have to go back to this thing.
You can go to the repository, right where
I
it
know,
is.
but I'm trying to find the repository.
It's on the right. Yep.
Okay.
And then
so it's-
copy just the beginning of that URL. So everything before pull. There you go. No slash at the end. That's important, which you did. So that's good.
Okay.
Does
here
that
we go.
have HTTP at? Oh, great. That's perfect.
Do we want the HTTPS?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So
And then scroll down. There you go.
what do we want? Readability edits, right?
Yep, you're Mike and Tyler, so you want readability edits. So you go
Okay.
ahead and pull it. Change your name to Mike and Tyler. Everybody will know.
Change my name.
No. I'm on Zoom. I'm just joking. It's a
Okay.
bad joke. Yep, hit back. And then as Mike and Tyler, what you're going to do is you're going to run the interview and you're going to see that it works.
Well, how is it going to work? Because if I'm pulling the branch that I pushed, it won't have
You're pulling the combination.
really?
Oh no, you're not pulling the branch.
I'm just
that you-
pulling what I pushed, which is going to be the stuff that isn't right. I'll only pull the combination once it's merged.
Hmm,
Or
I
unless
get
we
you,
do
that's
another
true.
branch and merge this into the other branch.
That's true. Usually I actually I usually do a pull request. You do have to pull the pull request. Does DocAssemble have a way to pull a pull request, Quentin?
Pull a pull request?
Yeah, I know. It
Oh, I
sounds,
see what you mean.
Quentin?
No, I don't think I really understand the question you have, but
So you can actually pull the code of a pull request with Git. So you can pull like that merge request.
It's
You can
almost
pull
like
all
if
the
you-
code from the merge request.
So if I copied master, or basically if we had a different branch that was the same thing as master and merged the readability edits into it.
Then you could do this. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
you could pull the changes from master into your pull request. That's another option.
You could do it
Although
the other way
I
around.
found it
As
a
long
little
as there's not a
complicated.
conflict, you can do it the other way around.
Sometimes that's the way to resolve a conflict too. But if it's not something that you can just solve using the GitHub online editor, at least.
And not
Um,
for DocAssemble, it's true.
Yeah.
They can at least run it here as far as you were able to run it, and see
Yeah, I
what
don't
you
think
were
that's
doing.
going to be helpful.
So
Well,
you're
the thing-
saying this won't actually run through to the end? Is that the
Yeah.
Second, right?
But
Karen?
it'll run through all your changes, right?
As far as I got, yeah.
So that's all they really need to see, right? But you're right. It's better if they can do the whole thing. We can try and
Yeah,
make it a practice.
if I
to-
were them, I would have master and my playground. And I would look at the changes and I'd copy and paste them into that I wanted.
Yeah, that becomes it becomes
I know it's a
messy.
pain in the neck, but I don't see a
But
better.
I think it would be faster. I can show you. It's fairly quick to make to open a new tab. Just command click on the back button.
I don't want to be that person, but I just want to make sure that we are aware that
Oh,
we're
right.
not gone over time.
Sure.
I
We
want
can
to-
stop now if people want. So if you go to the GitHub repository, that same GitHub repository, tell us if we should stop. But if we go to the same GitHub repository, so and open, right? So you're on master, I hope.
Oh
Where are
wait,
you?
I have to find it again. I thought I did open it as a repository.
Hit the top, yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so now hit the drop down that has master in it. Give it a name like PR for readability edits or whatever. Nope. Oh, did it make it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
there we go. It made it. Now go back to your pull request.
On the same in the same screen.
No, you can
Oh,
hit
here.
the other tab. It doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
Now at the top there, hit edit at the top right. Yeah, at the top right, hit edit, I think. So where there's a
That's
drop down
editing
that says
the
master.
Say that again.
So the name master is turned into a drop down. So click that and pick the other branch, PR readability edits.
Ah.
Yep, change base. Now you can merge this yourself and then they can pull from that. So go down to the very bottom. To the very bottom. And you can merge the pull request.
Oh, but okay, so PR readability edits. We just made a new branch. Did that copy what was in master?
Yes, because you were on master when you copied it.
Oh, so you're on master, you create a new branch, and when you create a new branch, it automatically copies whatever branch you're in.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And then, okay, merge pull request.
And when you make your actual pull request, you might add those comments. I don't know.
Okay.
And then they can pull from PR readability edits. So if we go back to your DocAssemble playground, it's kind of a kludge. That's a shame. Okay, so go back to folders, packages, pull request. Yep, PR readability edits. And now they'll be able to test it out. That is annoying.
What you did is you pulled the master and then you pulled in the branch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't want it. I didn't want to change. In this demo, I didn't want to change Caroline's branch because that won't always be what you want to do. If you want to see what it's going to be like without changing your own original branch.
So that's there.
And so they would test that. And they would test the things they needed to test, right?
Right. Oh, that's cool. So right now, they could pull that PR readability edits to see, it wouldn't change their master, but they could see what they like and what they don't like. Yeah.
Yep, they'd do like you did. They'd make a new project. They'd pull that branch. I don't love that workaround, but I think that's what needs doing for now. So
okay.
I wonder if I can dig into the code in DocAssemble if if Jonathan would, how he would feel about that kind of
Well,
change.
maybe what we can do is try to have again, a series of steps. If you're, you know, we need to think about this a little bit more so that we can share it with people so they know what to do. And then you could follow a series of steps if there's a merge if there's not a merge conflict. And then if there is a merge conflict, do another kind of structured.
Yeah, for sure. For now, that's the solution. Yep. And if there's a merge conflict, there's a couple ways we can deal with it. I think it'll be better if we actually have a merge conflict.
Yeah.
To demo that on.
All right. Well, getting a little bit closer on getting those readability edits into this motion.
Much closer.
Okay.
And if you want, what you can do now is you can use that PR branch to make further language edits.
Yeah.
It gets a bit messy after that. So
no,
if you're
I
not
think
comfortable doing that,
that's really good to do that, because then they can pull it and see if they like it, but we haven't touched their master, but they can see how the whole thing integrated is.
yeah. And the new changes, I would say put them on a new branch because they're reviewing this branch. So you don't want to change this branch as they're reviewing it. So I would say make a new branch that's draft
or just
2,
stop
right?
stop the review. Don't have them
or ask
review
them
it
to
yet.
stop the review. Yep.
Yeah.
And as long as you communicate with them.
Yeah.
But I think letting them review, because that lets you do it incrementally, right? They can decide on these changes while you work on other changes. And then they can pull these in and that'll be done. And you'll already, and then you can work on other changes. It's better if you do PRs incrementally and don't wait till you've got everything.
Sure.
For some of this kind of iterative,
right.
Not always, but there are, you can put that on a new branch or whatever you like, and then you'll have a working version as well that you can work from to make those changes. I can also show how to do it the other way around, how to get all, like Quentin was talking about, all the master changes into your branch. And then you would be able to work on a current version and make a PR later on. But that can be another lesson. So that's where you update your branch to their current work, right? So you catch up with them.
And you keep your changes in.
And you keep your changes in, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think these should be separate pieces in a context. When you want to do this, do it this way. When you want to do this, do it that way. I think. Do you want to?
I know you're busy today, but if you want to get together sometime, and you and me.
Yeah.
Like drop me a line when would be convenient, and we can put that in our calendars, and we can put together this checklist.
Okay.
All right. What questions do folks have for this part? I know this last part was pretty convoluted, so.
Just to confirm what happened, you made a duplicate of the branch and hold the changes to that to see how the larger thing would work without messing with the original branch.
Yep, we made a duplicate of the master branch.
The master, okay.
Yep, and then pulled in those changes because it didn't matter. It wouldn't affect master. We always want master to be working. When we get farther along in the process, we want to make sure, to keep master working, because that means we always have a version we can come back to.
Right. So that's if you're making changes from like outside, if you're making small edits, because then lots of people can be doing small.
Yep. It doesn't. I suggest small edits, but you can make a branch for big edits as well. If you don't work on master, then it means you always have a. If you were doing this in the console, if you knew how to revert to old changes, then I would say work on master. But since we don't currently have that process kind of outlined for you, it's easier if you keep master working, and then you can always come back to master.
Okay.
So yes, you make a copy of master, then you use that to put the changes on there, and and you can then test out those changes. You can use that branch to test out those changes. And when those are ready, you can make another PR with this new branch onto master. Right?
Gotcha.
So make another pull request.
That's a level above it.
Master. Well, it's the same as what Caroline did just a second ago with that that non-PR branch, the like readability edits branch. It's the same exact thing. You just do it with the PR readability edits. It's the same. Branch is a branch is a branch. Okay. But if that is still, if that does come up and you're not quite sure how that works, go through the steps that, like you can go through this video and go through the steps that Caroline did for that first branch, like those exact same steps, or you can ask us, because I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing that.
So Mia's on this meeting. She's reminding me that I promised to meet with her group at 2 o'clock.
Sure. Okay. All right. So we can call it a night. If you have more questions, then just give me a buzz, or other people might also know the answers. So you can just post it in the channel if you want to see if other people know the answers, just in case I'm busy or something.
Okie dokie.
All
Thanks,
right.
Michelle. I'll get back in touch with you so we can do some more of these.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody.